The show contains some scenes or images that may be disturbing.
Yeah.
Viewer discretion is advised.
Even adults.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's disturbing to everyone.
Yeah, so if you've got little ones watching, it's probably not the show.
Yeah, this one's kind of a
Creepy.
yes, very creepy.
Sad. It's sad, too.
But yeah, that also.
We're going to do weird news first.
Yeah, we're
Okay.
gonna do our news. We'll kick it off here in just a second. Just get these buttons pushed. But anyways, how's everyone doing tonight?
Hope everyone is well.
Yes, we of course want everyone to get involved tonight. Let us know how your day's going, how 2021 is treating you.
Fantastic.
Yes.
Couldn't be better.
I don't know. What's that thing that I keep seeing on everyone's sharing that when you Google when does it turn to 2021?
Okay, you ready? I'm going to do it. Well,
I don't know that thing. Do you know it?
hang on. Hey Siri, how many days until 2021?
It's 353 days until then.
Why?
Till 2021? Is this like
Why is
We're
it-
in the Matrix.
Is this that? I know. That kind of blew my mind. Why is this saying that?
Yeah.
so
People were like, well, they're going on military time. No,
Because military. time
because I
doesn't
said
run like
days, and it said days. How many days? So we started 2020 over. Welcome to 2020. We have 353
that.
days.
We probably should start 2020 over. Let's just do it over.
Siri was like, this is bullshit.
Yeah,
We're doing this
exactly.
again.
oh my gosh.
Even Suri's like, start over.
Yeah.
Oh,
Run it again, Sam.
are you kidding me? Seriously?
That was crazy. It kind of blew
Remember,
my mind.
Remember in the millennium how there was all that worry that computers wouldn't be able to keep up with everything?
What was that called?
Y2K.
Yeah.
Y2K.
Everyone was freaking out.
Yeah.
And so what if it's
Y2K
like that?
all
Like
over
the
again?
computers can't recognize that. Yeah.
Vince 2020, 2021. No.
2020.
What?
cash
No. 2020.2. No.
Oh my goodness.
We can't. We
Yeah,
can't.
we can't.
Yeah,
we
that
can't
is-
do a point two. There cannot be a point two.
And that is rough. That is very,
No one wants
very.
it.
So that's what everybody's freaking out about, because Siri, if you ask her anything else,
Do you think they're just messing with us? Do you think it's just
Dude,
Like,
for Apple
yeah,
and-
ask her. I
hey
don't
Siri, what time is it?
It's 7:32 p.m.
how did you get British Siri?
know. You choose, don't you?
Do you?
Yeah, you turn her on or off, but
I-
she's always listening.
I told her to call me
Yeah.
Master.
Have you seen the
Daddy.
ones where you
So
go?
when Jared calls her, he's like,
Mine's
Daddy.
Master Lord of Cool or something. I can't remember. I haven't done it. in a
If you do the HHHA, it goes ha 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 ha. So people are doing that. They're making Siri call them by
Well-
doing HA.
You can do up, down, left, right, BA
Yeah.
start.
I don't know any of these things.
That was from Mortal Kombat.
No, that originally started. That was all the Nintendo. I
Super
think all their
codes.
games, but we used to use it for Metroid when I was a
We
little kid.
we used to be like, Suri, is God real?
Yeah.
Is he real?
Siri, where do you hide a
We
body?
We should honestly save this chat for after this creepy show because this is fun, gentle.
At my house, we ask Suri if God is real or devil is real or demons are real.
Don't ask
you
Siri
guys-
that. That's how you invite it in. That's worse
You
than
guys ask.
playing with the Ouija board while covered in animal blood.
You
Don't-
have a Ouija board.
Don't bring Siri into that stuff, man.
Well,
Any-
that's how you find out stuff.
So I just
If you
keep
need
checking
to
every day
know-
to see if we're
Yeah.
still in 2020.
But
And
apparently
Siri
we're
is,
not.
well, we are. I mean, there's 353 days left.
Vince says lots of do-overs. So does that mean I'm still 44?
Yes, it does.
As a matter of
Outstanding.
fact.
Outstanding. I'm going to have
You
to
are so fortunate.
update all my dating sites.
1 year younger.
Yeah. It is wrong.
Everything is wrong.
Okay, guys. So tonight's show is creepy true story. So we've brought some news. Laura came up with this true story.
I didn't come up with it. It's a true story.
Laura did this true story. No, but anyways,
She researched it.
she researched it. She got real excited about it and wanted
We
us
don't
to
know
tell
why
it.
she was so
So,
excited about it.
I
We've
told her-
questioned her ever since.
Yeah, I told her come on the show and do it.
It
So-
started actually with that
With that show that you
little
watched.
boy, the Patriot boy. You know what I'm talking about?
Not a clue. Anyways,
Sailor boy.
Robert or Daniel.
Robert the doll.
Yeah, Robert the
started
doll.
with that.
So she got into some stuff. But anyway, so what we're going to do now is we're going to kick it off with some news. And my news is I'm reading it from the Metro UK. Headline is, boy, 12, busted for rave in school. Lou wants to be superstar DJ.
Okay, so the Luz is in the restroom?
Yes,
He's a legend.
he's in the restroom.
Does he have a GoFundMe?
I don't know.
We need to donate to a deck, one of those DJ decks.
Anyhow, so
This is terrible.
It is not. That's amazing.
this is fantastic.
Well,
Let me read the story.
We all mean it the same way, but
Let me read the story real quick. A 12-year-old boy who threw a rave in his school toilets is eyeing superstar DJ status despite having his equipment seized when teachers shut the party down.
See?
see, this is just sad to me. Sad.
It's got the best acoustics. This boy's a genius.
I'm telling you.
Let the kid
I am
do
telling
his
you.
thing.
Kids in there dancing.
He's got somebody
Right?
with the lights.
Not only that, but he was smart enough to pull this off in the school bathroom.
And there's not a urinal hit the whole time because they're all
Yeah.
dancing.
There's like boys peeing in the bathroom.
Who
Get the
attended
mic
this?
up close to your mouth, Laura.
Sorry.
So anyway,
But-
Cale Bell.
This is a kid I would raise, for sure.
Yeah. Cale Bell gave out free twirls and a friend dispense Lucozade. I think twirls and Lucozade are probably like snacks.
Twizzlers and
Okay.
something else.
Lucozade at the bash during the break time at St. Anthony's Catholic College in Urmston,
I think this
Trafford.
is genius, this entire thing.
Well, it's written in English, but I mean it's in England, so
It's actual English.
I know,
Yeah.
but the kid himself is
He's a
apparently
legend.
Amazing.
Oh, he's
gonna
awesome.
become someone.
So the story went viral, and the dance music fan has since been inundated with offers of online gigs
Oh,
and
good.
opportunities in the music industry, including from France and Germany.
Feel good story.
His
it
parents
is.
still have to sign off to get his mobile kit back, but see his party venture as another step towards his dream of being a DJ.
Okay.
This is adorable. I
Dude,
think
you
this story is adorable.
high five your kid when they come
Yeah,
home
but-
and they
Oh,
have
yeah.
done this.
Exactly.
Well, no, they have still, his parents, the aspiring musician, however, is staying grounded despite being at the center of a media frenzy.
This has actually happened to me. I've been called to the principal's office and it was so hard not to laugh, and I wanted to high five the kid. Remember?
Yeah.
It was Riley across the street. And he was in trouble, and I went to help him. But what he said, because of what he did, I couldn't stop laughing. And it's so hard. And you feel like as a parent, you're supposed to.
Yeah,
You
it
know,
sounds like his parents are like, okay,
Yeah.
genius
Well,
move.
He's,
You're still grounded.
yeah, he's still grounded.
No, you should not be grounded for that.
They're keeping him level. That's good.
Well,
They're not
no.
going to let they
That's
go
a
to his
high
head.
five. That's a
Is
high
there a
five
video?
moment.
Is that a video?
I think there is. But, well, they still kind of have to.
Not really.
Have
I
him-
feel like you're a genius. Let's carry on. High five.
pull the mic up nice and close. You still got to have him. He still has to learn to be obedient to authority.
Yeah, okay.
Okay.
But we've got to see this.
All right, so we're going to play a little video
All right.
of the bathroom antics. Oh, he's got some Christmas action going.
Yeah. And
What is happening
Wait,
in
wait.
the background?
let's see if he breaks out into the WAP or anything. See if it's super inappropriate.
Now, this
Totally
might just-
age appropriate.
This looks like it's just in his house, not the bathroom one. Well, that
This is
kid's-
just a kind of a what he can do.
That kid's 12? He's a big kid.
I stand by my. I'm like, you got skills, kid. Go somewhere.
Well, I like it. I like the cut of
It's
that
awesome.
kid's jib.
I like the cut of his jib.
Oh, he started DJing as a toddler, it says.
See?
He's going places.
I agree.
I
He's
like
going
what the
places.
kid's doing.
I like the idea that he was like, what has the best acoustics?
Probably the
The loo.
He found it. He found it. That's for sure.
My story is not so snuggly and warm.
Mine is neither, so
Again,
don't worry.
adult content. I want to introduce you to they call it a delightful little device. I would say it is terrible. It's called the Cellmate. It is a Bluetooth enabled male chastity cage.
What?
Yep, chastity cage. It keeps you chaste. It covers. Anyway, they're relatively popular toys in the BDSM community, and as far as these things go, it's like a state-of-the-art product. The manufacturer's website says it's waterproof for bathing, has smooth edges, all that stuff. So you take this cage and you put it on yourself.
Yeah.
It's goes on a guy.
But
Yes.
Why? Why would you want it?
And it's Bluetooth operated. So you give permission to someone else to operate it. Well,
Okay.
apparently the manufacturer left one of Cellmate's application programming interfaces vulnerable and exposed.
So okay, so
Why are your jokes not rolling in right now?
And
so
'Cause I have so
you've
many
they've
in
got
my
a
head.
Bluetooth activated bird cage
yes.
and
No, this makes sense. to
Okay,
me in
go
my
on.
brain.
So a hacker who will remain unidentified
okay.
managed to get into the system of several Cellmate users.
And did what?
And these chastity cages suddenly clamped down when they weren't supposed to.
What do you mean clamp down?
Like-
What do you mean clamp
Yeah,
down?
I'm
Like,
actually curious.
Closed up. So like
on
it's
the-
half on and
on
it's
the
closed.
unit?
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
Permanently, of course.
So hold on.
So a hacker.
So okay, not only do you feel the need to have one of these implements, but you have one that not only just keeps you chaste,
Uh-huh.
but it collapses in on you.
Well, okay, so these things become problematic when you've got to
It
It
Urinate.
sounds like it come out the gate
sounds pretty
problematic.
problematic.
At any rate, so he clamps these down, and then he just demands
Do they have like a
$750.
little speaker on them, like all of a sudden
No,
coming out of your
there's
underwear?
there's
So
a
Jared, would you pay $750 for someone to own?
he would be in his garage. Well, I don't know, because that's sensitive.
But this
I don't know
is
if you'd be
big.
using a.
I'm wondering how I would get myself into that situation from the
I know.
start.
First of all, there's that, which is unexplainable. But let's just say you were, and your unit is now clamped, would you pay $750 to this hacker
So
to
each
get it undone?
each cellmate has a person's information. So this Robert is how he prefers to be called in this. Vice did a thing on it, but this is coming from the Audi. Robert said he received a message after he tried to get this device off that he pay Bitcoin
Oh, shit.
to the tune of about $750 and if he failed to comply, his cellmate would stay locked for good.
I've got another question.
Who cares? It's your cellmate.
So he was shocked to
Your unit
see
is captured.
Why, if this happened to me, let's say something went awry in my life, all the way from the start, right? You know,
To the point where you got this.
whatever happened, I used weak toilet paper and a finger broke through, whatever. And I opted to buy one of these devices, which I'm not going to shame anyone who has one.
Yeah, do
But
it.
me, I don't. And don't see a cause for it. But then
But
again,
would you pay to get it off? I didn't
Okay.
mean it like that.
and
That
then
came
I
off
pay to
wrong.
get it off.
You said it too.
So,
So-
step 4 is I wouldn't tell anybody ever. That would be one of them dirty
Right.
secrets that gets hidden way back in the
yeah,
like
that's like the
you
ER
have to
gerbil
dig
in the
through
asshole. type.
miles of walk-through closet skeletons to get to that one.
So the makers of this,
Uh-huh.
because this happened to several of their users.
And it's called the Bluetooth birdcage, or what is it called again?
I'm going to buy you one.
It's
No,
called
you are not.
Cellmate.
I will.
Yeah.
It's called Cellmate.
Cellmate.
I can promise
that
you.
is terrible.
So they hired a UK cybersecurity consulting firm
Uh-huh.
because Cellmate is designed to just simply not open without permission. They didn't have any backdoor, no
Cool.
pun
Let's
intended.
Maybe
invent
maybe
some
this
shit.
is wives pick this up for their husbands that have maybe past infidelity problems. So the wife says,
It's probably some disgruntled ex-wife that designed it.
I'm-
She's like, put a trap on.
So are
it.
you ready? They found a workaround, though.
okay.
A couple. The first one is
Don't get it. Don't put it on.
Drum roll.
is to apply the current of 2 AA batteries into the wires.
It's always
Which
about
will-
the batteries.
It will send a shock down through the metal of it and possibly force it to unlock.
Possibly.
Possibly.
Now, 2 AA batteries.
The
What's the shock that the guy gets?
other is an angle grinder.
Oh,
Yeah,
God.
that's
Well,
I own 3 angle grinders, and I do not feel confident enough with my shaky hands for that.
They did tell them your local emergency department will probably have the right tools to cut through the metal safely,
Oh my
though,
God.
and you would be better served to first
This is
Not
part
buy
of
it.
like that's on their website.
go to them first.
That's part
So
of
you
the
got to
website.
call them up. Hello,
If you
birdcage.
produce a product that literally says that,
Hello, birdcage.
like you're probably gonna
I
need
got an
to
issue.
call the authorities to cut this off.
And the worst part of all of this is that this vulnerability, this ability for people to hack into it, wasn't a recent discovery. The security hole's been there for nearly a year, and there's been no sign that they have any intention of fixing
But some
it.
ingenious hacker sat down one day and thought, I need to make a quick buck.
But you think about
So
it.
he throws up
he
the
was
whiteboard.
Genius.
He's throwing out some ideas. Okay, I can get a job. No, that's not quick enough. It's 2 weeks later. I can, we could rob a bank. No, too much exposure. Master normalized now,
So
though,
vanilla.
but still,
Let's
no,
go.
too much exposure. I got
Go
an
all
idea.
the way.
I got an idea. He's probably a Nigerian prince, so he says, I have an idea. And then he says, a buddy of mine has one of these little ditties. And I happen to know that we can backdoor it. That just sounds
Okay.
wrong in this circumstance.
It does.
Mhm.
It does.
we can trap this man
That sounds wrong too.
inside of his
We're
cage.
trapping everything at this point.
I'm sure some guy was like, they have what?
Some guy.
They have what?
Oh,
They have cages? Oh, they're Bluetooth? Oh, I know what to do with Bluetooth. Let's see if we can lock a couple of these. Then he was like, oh, pay me. You want it open?
This reminds me of so many things. I actually heard a story about bidets the other day, and they were talking about how some of them you can buy. And Jared and I were talking about how he was considering installing one. But apparently you can buy them that come with, like, Bluetooth. I don't know.
Hey,
why.
Siri, bring the water pressure up to 65.
Yeah, they're like $7,000, but you can connect to them for I don't know what reason.
I'm telling
That's
cyborgs.
going to be a man question because
It's going to be a dancing robot.
women do not spend as much time in the bathroom as men.
Vince says, what about urinating? Yeah, therein lies the problem.
But people actually called in and were like, you get clean and you get to connect to the news. I'm like, who spends that
Like the
much?
bidet tells you,
Yeah.
today the stock market is
So while you're splashing, it tells you the news. And I'm like, women do
We're
not.
in, we're out.
Yeah.
I'm not waiting for
It's
the news.
only a dude that spends 3 hours in the bathroom that needs to connect.
that little bastard that's running this simulation. He needs to, whatever
Only a
he's
dude.
into, he's into some creepy stuff. He's punking us. First, he's punking us through Siri.
Okay, but this guy was actually talking about installing one the other day.
A bidet that tells you the news?
No,
bidet.
I didn't know there was bidets that told you the news. I
Or
just
Have you
thought
ever
it-
used a bidet?
No,
pull the mic up a little bit closer.
Yeah.
but he has one and he wants to install it. And that's why I listened to this story, because we were talking about it.
Bidets are amazing.
I am sure
Do
they
you
are.
have one?
No, but Sap Brothers, that's all they have in their
Yeah,
bathrooms.
Sap Brothers, the truck stop in there.
Mhm.
I don't even know what that is.
You know the truck stop in Salt Lake that has like the big oil.
It's right off of
can?
California Avenue.
Yeah. But anyways, they supposedly that's their deal. And
Do you
when
go there on purpose because
I'm
they
thinking
have a
about it.
bidet?
I'm thinking about it.
Every chance we get.
Man,
Cleanest bathrooms. I'm telling you, if we're in Salt Lake, I'll
It's-
hold it. I'll be like,
it's-
I'll just wait till we get a Sap Brothers. Every other bathroom's
No,
disgusting. Their
people-
bathrooms, you could eat off of the floor in there.
People called in and they were like, you don't get how clean you get. And I was like, maybe.
I could dig it.
Yeah.
I could dig
Yeah.
it. You just, it's probably the first time out the gate, there's a little feeling of violation.
Yeah,
maybe some tears.
that came up a lot
but you get
too.
used to it.
Because they were like, the cold water at first sucks, but then.
But
you
see, it's
love
not
it.
cold.
You can
They're
plumb
heated.
them into warm water.
Well, yeah, if they have Bluetooth. They
Oh,
might as well
imagine
be
what that
heated.
one does. You could have it do like a Swedish massage.
Vince says redneck bidet, the splash in the porta potty.
It's just no redneck bidets. You just leave the toilet seat up.
And sit on the rim.
Just slide right in, and squidgy it around a little bit. You know,
It is worth a drive for a fresh, clean bum. Thanks, Mike. I'm telling you, you gotta go to Sap Brothers.
All right.
Leave now. They're open. We'll
Yeah.
finish up.
Well,
Yeah.
I'll go clean up together.
All right. So we've got one more
Okay,
news story, but first let's start with the story for a minute.
Yeah.
Oh, the actual story. And again,
I'm
this is
even
a
scared to
content
get into
advisory because this is not for the faint of heart. This
No.
story is really gross
It is.
and interesting.
So-
And sad.
Sad.
And all
Yes.
of the above.
So
Right.
let's kick it off, Laura. Who are we talking about tonight?
So we're talking about Anatoly
Anatoly Moskvin.
Moskvin.
I'm sorry if I
Moskvin.
We're gonna.
Anatoly Moskvin.
So there's 3 people that's gonna mangle a Russian name tonight.
Over and over again.
Yes,
I think I got the Anatoly part Moskvin.
Anatoly.
Anatoly.
All right. So make sure you speak into the mic, Laura, but tell us, give us a skinny. Where was he at?
So, this guy, he was your average neighbor. He was born in Russia. Excuse me. And he was a genius. He was known as a genius. So, he literally spoke 13 languages.
Mm.
That's what he learned over his life. He went to a lot of college. He did a lot of research. And there's this thing I've never actually heard of, and I couldn't find anything about, so I'm sorry to the listeners, but crypto Malik is a degree, I guess.
Crypto Malik.
Yeah, so not only did he learn all of these degrees, but he actually taught in college. So he taught at universities. A lot of Celtic stuff. That was his favorite. But he got a degree in crypto. I've never heard of it. I tried to look it up.
Well, crypto.
So he was
it's a Russian thing.
necropolist or whatever they call him?
So,
Like an expert on dead things?
No, well, crypto Malik. Crypto means. I don't
yeah.
know.
So the most I could
So it
find
might have been like
was-
old languages or old.
No, the most I could find was it's how you study cemeteries, which is what he did.
Oh, he's a
His
cemetery
entire life.
studier.
Which I don't get, first of all. I don't get how that's a thing. You show up and you're like, yeah, they're all dead.
So he studied cemeteries.
Yeah, that was his degree. I don't get why that is a degree. I mean, you literally, what do you do? You park at the cemetery and you're like, they're all dead.
Is it a
And then you like
Done.
check okay. Yeah,
I'm an
they're
expert.
dead. But apparently in Russia, nothing against Russia.
Now, did he?
But that is a degree. So
Did he
that's
get
what
the degree in
did.
Russia?
He did.
Okay.
So he got the degree, and still don't get why that's a degree. And he had a colleague, by the way. He had a colleague that mentioned what he did, and
So
I'm
there's
like,
two.
so there was two of you? There was two of you?
It takes more.
If
that-
anyone knows any crypto Malik doctors,
That drives to cemeteries?
I wonder if they plan cemeteries, like how far apart.
Yeah,
be.
I don't know.
Or-
That's what
or
he
they
did his
may-
entire life.
they may do studies on, because a cemetery is somewhere where we put a lot of, for lack of a better
pain.
word, biological matter.
Yeah.
So they may be, it may be along the lines of biology. So they may be kind of an
No, so
environmental.
where it started for him was, it never says the age, but it says the age of the girl. So when he was way, way young, and it never says the age, but when he was way young, he visited a grave for some reason, or a funeral, and it was an 11-year-old girl, and someone forced him to kiss her.
Who does that?
I don't know.
Well,
And it
Kiss
doesn't
it.
say how old
Get in there.
he was.
Kiss it.
But he describes it. And this is after he was arrested and the whole thing. But
so that kicked off kind of.
it kicked off his career
So
because...
fear is an often contributor to future obsession.
yeah, so
A fear of something drives people to understand it, take it apart, want to be a part of
Yeah,
it.
exactly.
So perhaps he was just super afraid.
So someone at his young age forced him to kiss this young girl at a funeral, and he talks about it and he never got over it. So he went into all of this. That's how it all started.
So I had heard that he once claimed that a group of men in black suits stopped him on the way home from school, and that they are the ones. They were on their way to this
This was
funeral.
After
and they
Yeah.
dragged him there
Yeah, this
and forced him
was-
to kiss the girl's
Yeah.
corpse. Now I don't know if that's true, but that's
I don't either.
So
but
we
it's
got a
the
Men in
same
Black
story.
tie-in.
yeah.
Mhm.
Kiss the alien girl.
Yeah,
Comes the
kiss
Man in Black.
the alien girl. And
So did he
that's-
kiss her?
He kissed her. It says he kissed her. I don't know if he did or not, but that's part of his story that he had to, and then he loved it.
Oh no.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So go on. What
So then again, we were talking about the
that grosses me out.
sailor boy,
Okay. Robert.
the sailor boy. Yeah.
Robert's a haunted doll from like the late 1800s.
Yeah. So this is what led me into this story. This is how I found out about this story. So I just found out about this guy that collected dolls. He collected a lot of dolls. People thought he was weird, but he was really intelligent. Again, he spoke at universities. He spoke 13
Imagine when they put up that
languages.
flyer. You know, this guy's coming to talk about grave studying. He'll be in the quad at 7:00,
So exciting.
and he shows up and like two people are out there, and they're
But
creepy
even his
too.
parents didn't know. So he was a doll collector.
So at a young age, following
Yep.
the kissy kiss, he was like,
He
I've got to
started collecting
dolls.
Mhm.
Oh, collecting dolls. They're
So he
creepy people
started
collect
collecting
dolls.
dolls.
Nate, I mean you.
Nate only
No disrespect.
only collects the scary one.
That makes it even creepier. We love you, Nate, but it's creepy.
But yeah, so he got into collecting dolls, and no one knew. Like, that is the part that freaks me out the most. is
Where did he keep his
Now
dolls?
these dolls,
They're in his house. They're
They're-
all in his house.
and they're life-size dolls, right?
So you need to start showing the pictures.
I will.
So what he did is, he started digging them up.
Okay,
So he took them from graves, and
So-
he mummified them, and he made them into dolls, and he kept them in his house.
Okay, hang on. Whoa,
And
information
Jared
overload.
is going to have the pictures, but he made them.
So
and
his
he-
obsession moved from collecting actual dolls to
People.
digging up. So
Yeah.
he didn't kill anybody.
No, he never killed anyone.
I don't know if
But-
this is worse. Probably not.
He dug them up.
This is some Ed Gein action.
Yeah,
right
is there a scale, a sliding scale of psycho? Like, is it slightly below murdering and then mummifying for you to dig up?
It was to
Previously
some of the
buried.
parents. I hate seeing his face, actually. It was to the parents, and I know we're all parents, so all of you understand. But, oh my God, that
Oh.
one, that
So
one, right there. So that girl, he made into that
and then kept her in his house.
So this
Yeah.
young child, she's
for 9 years.
okay.
9
So
years.
let me explain the picture for people who are just listening. So there's a young child. She looks like she's probably 10, maybe even younger than 10, 8 or 9. So
Now she's 6 because
She's
the mom
6.
says I had her for 6 years, you had her for 9.
okay, so she's 6 years old. She passes away. He goes and studies the cemetery, digs her up,
Mm-hmm.
mummifies her,
And that is what she
and
looks like.
then he goes and to explain the mummified, it looks like he's made a paper mache mask
Mm.
for the body.
Preservation purposes, probably.
Yes, much like a sarcophagus would have been,
But
and then paints the face, paints eyes on the mask and lips,
Yeah.
and then dresses the doll or dresses
The
the
doll.
body into clothes like she's wearing a jacket, and the jacket has a hood on it. It's the little pink jacket and dress, it looks like.
Mm.
And
But this is the thing: is it actually says this girl, in particular, when her mom goes to court against this guy, she says, like I said, I had her for 6 years, you had her for 9.
So
how
this isn't that long ago. So if I look at the report, it says in 2009, locals began to discover the graves of their loved ones desecrated, sometimes completely dug up. And the Russian Interior Ministry spokesman, General, I'm guessing, Valery Gribakin, told CNN that initially our leading theory was that it was done by some extremist organization. So we decided to beef up our police units and set up groups composed of the most experienced detectives
Yeah,
who
'cause
specialize
they
in extremist crime.
Yeah. Because they were noticing dug up
so
graves.
like extremists? What did they think? Like
They
extremists?
thought it was a group of people.
like a
Like some
satanic-
necromancy
exactly.
stuff or something.
And it was just this one guy.
And it says for nearly 2 years, the Interior's ministry leads went nowhere. Graves continued to be desecrated and no one knew why. There was a break in the
And
investigation.
he had a perfect excuse to be around cemeteries all the
because
time.
he studied
That's
them.
what he did. That was
Because
his job.
He was a professor of cemetery.
Uh-huh.
So, following the terrorist attack at the Domodedovo airport in Moscow in 2011, authorities heard reports of Muslim graves being desecrated. Investigators were led to a cemetery where someone was painting over the pictures of dead Muslims but not damaging anything else. This is where he was finally caught. 8 police officers went to his apartment after they apprehended him at the graves of the Muslims to gather evidence.
Because he was sleeping in their graves.
He
So
was
he
sleeping.
would go sleep in their graves before they got buried.
They caught him there.
So they would
I don't know how he
dig
knew.
the gravesite.
Before, yeah.
And then him,
he would go
being a doctor, he would go, before they buried him, he would go and
sleep in the grave.
have a sleep.
Little camp out,
Because that's
roasting marshmallows.
Exactly.
perfectly
But
normal,
when
perfectly
he
healthy.
got arrested, he told the judge, I took care of the girls that you guys didn't.
So he was 45 when he was arrested.
Now,
He's like
what were the?
54
Do we
now.
know the causes
He's
of
still
death?
alive.
Do we know the causes of death?
No.
I'm sure it was all over the place.
There
But do
was
you know that he
26.
lived with his parents?
Yeah, there was 26
With that?
dolls.
So, how's his parents doing today? Because
And his parents said, there's
Talk into the mic.
26. His parents said he knew he had a weird obsession with dolls, but they didn't know. They didn't know they were... And I don't know how, because why would they not smell or something?
They found him throughout the apartment. But
there
it
was
says
26.
it says that it was a small apartment and it was somewhat hoarded. So maybe there was
Now you
competing
can-
smells.
But his parents literally had no idea. They thought he just was weird.
you can tell by the pictures that
I mean, if your son brings 26 of
2000
those home,
2011 is when he was apprehended,
Uh-huh.
folks. This is not that long ago.
and in 2012, he appealed.
now this Muslim tie-in did he start targeting Muslims there after a while? And then what was this painting over of the Muslim?
In this report, I'm just looking at arrest records, and in this report, it doesn't say. It just said that that's how they caught him, was because authorities heard reports of Muslim graves being desecrated, and it led them to a cemetery where someone was painting over the picture of the dead Muslims, but not damaging anything
Desecrating,
else.
yeah.
So, like the pictures on the headstones. So they set up this sting operation,
Yeah.
and they caught him sleeping.
In
So
the
someone was
coffins.
painting over him, so that wasn't him.
No,
But
that
while
was
they're-
him. I think that was him.
Could have been him.
But
I
while
think
they're
he was
watching for that,
doing that as a
they catch a guy, grab his Snuggie, and lower himself.
Hop into a freaking 6-foot hole.
And then they're like, oh, maybe he's a gravedigger, just making sure it's square. Or the
But he has
inspector-
a degree too,
But,
so
but the Snuggie and then the consequent snoring kind of threw him for a loop. You know?
they tried to catch him for years. If you
Yeah,
look into
like
the research, there was times that they tried to catch him for years, but
I'm sure
because
they
of
had no
his
idea this is what he was
degree
doing.
And yeah, he got away with it. And even his parents,
He appealed
his
this.
poor parents, his parents just thought he had a weird obsession with dolls. So they didn't even think anything about him bringing home
I'm wondering where he
But
mummified him at.
It got weirder. That's true. That's actually a very good point. But it got weirder because it says he would have tea with them and he would watch cartoons with them because he said they would want to watch cartoons. So he would try to feed them and sit with them and hang out with them, and they were his friends. Like, I don't think he ever did anything wrong to them. And again,
Okay,
when he
aside
talked to the
from
judge,
the initial wrong.
well, yeah, but when he talked to the judge, he said, "I saved your girls when you guys couldn't." But it reports that he sat with them and he never married, he never dated, he never anything.
They said he was kind of a shut-in.
Yeah, so these were his people.
Oh, I can't imagine.
So
he
would
get
sit
married.
them on the couch and he would hang out with them and watch cartoons.
So they find him in the grave, and the report says that 8 officers showed up to his house the following day, and that there were these life-size dolls all throughout this small apartment. I mean, 26, you said?
26. Yeah.
26
26
anything in this house
bodies
you would notice.
from the age of 3 to 25.
Yeah. The youngest was 3, the oldest was 25. So that's a full-grown adult.
Yeah.
It's likely he went through kind of the same progression that most people do.
And he's
where
still alive.
You start
today.
small.
No. We got to rephrase that. That most crazy people do.
Most psychotic people do.
Most people don't go through a progression that gets anywhere converging near this. Thank God.
I mean, you start with one
Thank
beer, and then the next night you're like, I can handle 2. We all do progressive growth things.
But then 26 bodies in your house. Yeah, that would take so many
I
beers.
mean, I can't imagine how he never got married.
Yeah.
I know.
It's astonishing.
I think he was pretty able candidate.
This,
I mean, how do you introduce them to your kids?
Could you imagine his profile?
Do you invite them over for tea and
his
break
profile
bread?
on some website for dating? It's like, here's me and all of my dolls.
so Russian, would that be Tindersky?
Tindersky.
No.
Stop it.
It's actually terrible because his parents were there and his parents seemed so cute.
And they have no idea.
They just thought he was weird.
Listen.
And I understand this because I'm a parent. So
No.
if your kids
No, no.
weird shit, you're just like, you're still cute.
Those dolls, I would immediately investigate. Like, what is this? What is this thing made of? Why does it weigh 55 pounds? Why do we have 4 now? What's happening with you?
And now we have 26.
I mean,
26
obviously,
just laying around the apartment.
Obviously, his parents were, neglectful at the very best to what was happening inside that household.
He was 45. They probably lived
Oh my God, I still hate that
lived
picture.
with him at that point.
That one picture is the worst.
That's just crazy. This guy is still
So,
alive.
he's still alive.
So he appealed it on what grounds?
Psychiatric. So they actually, in 2012, they declared him schizophrenic, and he now is still alive.
I don't know how they did that. How did they?
I know. He's clearly saying.
Honestly,
I hate that one.
If I spotted this guy walking down the street, I would
so he's still alive today in a psychiatric ward.
So did he appeal it on the grounds that he's not guilty, or he appealed it on the grounds that he's unfit to stand trial?
I think his attorneys did the unfit
I mean, I would
disclosure.
agree. At face
So-
value, I would agree that anybody that does
so
that and
they
breaks bread with
declared
them.
him- Yeah. So and he got caught in 2011. In 2012, they declared him schizophrenic, and he's been in a medical institute
Yeah.
ever
But
since.
they're
He's
not
still
gonna-
Criminally
alive.
insane.
Talking to the mic, Laura. They're not going to let him out, though, right? They're not.
It doesn't.
Yeah, what is it? What is the justice system like in Russia? I mean, my kids used to call my house Russia's toughest prison because I never had snacks, but I think it's probably worse over there.
No, I call it that because you have that fake chocolate in your damn pantry. The hell?
I had a bar of 80% cacao.
No, it wasn't. It was that cooking shit, but it said Hershey's on it, and I'm all, oh, chocolate.
It's baking chocolate.
Yeah.
It's unsweetened. So Jared opens up the bar and took a big bite.
Believe me,
He was
I
like,
know about this.
What
I
is
have,
this?
I have hidden chocolate in this house. Hidden. And he sniffs it out. He's
Okay,
like,
so we got a couple
"Sorry,
of
I found it."
comments. Oh, Mike. Mike says he's just trying to have a little before he dies. Jeez. Oh, and Mike says he's eligible for public office. Yes, sir, he probably is.
None of this is okay. Do we have any better comments?
Okay. Mike also says basket weaving is a degree.
Okay,
So
it's true.
there you go.
Yeah.
I know a person who tried to get a degree in macrame. It's kind of like
Macrame, is that where you make the
plant hangers.
weave for the plant? I remember doing that when I was in like
Huh?
5th grade. Or
Okay,
6th grade.
so this is a lead off into my other
Oh,
story.
Laura's got a news.
You have a news story?
It's a story from, I don't know that much about it, so I probably shouldn't talk about it. But
I'll pull it up.
yesterday, Connecticut, it's the I'm going to screw it up.
Okay. You want me to
Yeah.
read this
Polyamorous?
story? No, it's Palo Mayombe. So
Mayombe.
two
Totally different. Polyamorous and polymayombe are not the same. Okay, wait. Close.
two Polk men accused of stealing remains of veterans from graveyard.
For polymayombe?
Yes. Now Palo Mayombe, we've talked about it.
That's
that was
evil.
that was that religion. It's practiced in some parts of Africa still. Where
It's practiced everywhere.
well,
And apparently it's huge with the drug cartel.
it is. There was actually one. We're gonna have to do a story on it sometime. There was a Florida,
But this one is like brand new.
but this
It
one's
just
this one's
happened.
recent. So,
Yeah.
January 8th, two Polk County men are in jail on charges that they desecrated graves and stole remains of veterans from Mount Dora graveyard to use in religious rituals.
And they said that they stole. Well,
Well,
first
we'll get
they
to
said,
it. Let me.
Okay.
Polk County Sheriff's deputies arrested Brian Tolentino, 43 of Davenport, and Juan Burgos Lopez, 29 of Lake Wales, while executing a search warrant on Wednesday. DNA evidence from a cigar led authorities to Tolentino, who then also named Burgos Lopez as an accomplice.
You're terrible at this, Tolentino. You never tell.
So, anyways, Palo Mayombe is, we've talked about it before, where they take a pot and they put body parts into it. They usually dig up these body parts, but we talked about how there are current killings and maimings for body parts going on
It's a religion. It's
in Africa
something-
today. Yes, Palo Mayombe is
Yeah.
a religion.
It's
Yeah,
something
there's-
they believe. So the parts that you put into them
Yeah, it brings you
are
medicine.
super important.
Like if you want money, they'll bury
Yeah.
a hand at the doorstep.
And that's why these guys, they took the vets.
No,
Because they said warriors in the next life will help them.
yes. So they took the. Well, let's see what the detective says. Suspects told them they used the human remains in their religion, Palo Mayombe, and that they chose the graves of veterans because their religion demands that the remains be from those that have done something heroic.
Yeah.
The suspects went to tell the detectives that they drove to the cemetery on December 6th and use a crowbar to remove the lids of the tombs. They removed the heads and other remains, placed them in plastic bags, took them to Lake Wales, and placed them in the shrine. The shrine was located at Burgos Lopez's residence. I don't know if we need to give out the residence. Yeah. Detective found a shed with religious shrine and 7 skulls, 4 of which the suspects admitted to taking from graves at Mount Dora. The sheriff's office said 2 others were determined to be fake, and the investigation is ongoing as into the identity of the other. 2 fake ones? Well, you're going to get fake heroes in there. That's not gonna
doesn't work. These Palomayambe, the ones that practice it could never practice it around here. There are parts of the country that these tombs, because of the water table, are buried. They're placed in tombs, but here you got to earn it.
Yeah.
Okay,
rocky soil. You got to dig and dig and dig.
These are older. Some of them are older. Here's the deceased. So we got Henry Britton, who's a private in the U.S. Army in the Korean War.
Yeah, those are old graves.
Albert Carr, sergeant in the U.S. Army, World War I.
None of this is okay.
Calvin McNair. Now, none of these guys look like they died in the war so far.
Who cares?
Sergeant in the U.S. Army in World War I. Military police officer in the U.S. Marine Corps. And then he was also a police officer. And then we've got Annie Feniel. She was a good Samaritan and caretaker, according to her family. The guys, Tolentino has an arrest history that includes charges of cocaine possession, drug possession with intent to distribute, grand theft, and armed robbery of a bank.
All around great guys.
Told you.
See, and all he had to do was learn how to use a Bluetooth cage.
That's it. He could have got his money that way.
I'd like to bring
we'll have to do a show on that Palomayambe.
we did a show on Palomayambe a while ago. You can watch it.
First of all, I just want to throw out to all
it's in our human sacrifice show.
All of those veterans.
Yeah, that's a terrible thing to do to anybody.
It is to anyone, but I'm going to throw out to the veterans anyway. That sucks.
Well, it does. It's it's common. A lot of.
I know that's what
I
they
should
do.
say. I shouldn't say that, but there's been quite a few Palomayambe drug dealing gangs.
Yeah, no shit.
And they operated. There was one that operated down in Florida. What I'll do is I'll study up and I'll do a show on it.
Yeah,
in the future.
this is what I was talking about.
But this guy.
I don't understand why there would be a connection.
On purpose.
Well, the connection is
who you take in the afterlife.
Well, I don't know what the connection is. I'm not saying all Palomayambe parishioners are drug dealers, and I'm not saying all drug dealers practice Palomayambe. But it is common that, there is like that Mexican saint for drug dealers. Actually, he's a smuggling saint. So maybe
who you take into the afterlife is important. So they pick people on purpose.
Well, sometimes they do.
On their altars.
In Africa, they chase down little kids and cut their arms off.
Okay, I don't want to know that.
Yeah.
So it's deeper than just that. It's. They dig up graves. My favorite story is still that one of that guy who practiced it, who was beside himself. He was, you horrible people, because his mom had practiced it, and his mom was kind of the grave robber of their local area for Palomayambe purposes. When people wanted to get a certain medicine, she would be the one that would go out and rob a grave and bring the part back for that medicine.
I thought I was a bad mom.
Well, when she died, someone robbed her grave, and her son was beside himself. How dare they? How dare he was insolent about that. But that is crazy. So this is in Connecticut. So, all right, both suspects were booked into the Polk County Jail on their Lake County charges. of 4 counts, each disturbing the contents of a grave and abuse of a dead body. They also were charged in Polk County on 1 count of disturbing the contents of a grave, and Burgess Lopez was charged with an additional count of trafficking in dead bodies. I'll bet if they looked in deeper, they would find some
more
drugs.
But
Now,
more disturbingly, sorry, this goes back to the case we were talking about before. As a parent, when they took Anatoly to jail, when that one face, it will haunt me forever.
That young girl,
Yeah,
little blonde girl.
yeah. When she said, "I had her for 6 years, you had her for 9." That is so disturbing to me.
Oh, it is. It's very disturbing. And grave robbing is
Well, first of all,
and to mummify. Now,
none of it makes sense.
I would like to know,
dig that far to unbury a casket.
He must
what he had to do, but then to be the parent of that in court, you're in court and you know that some guy just did that to your kid.
I wonder.
And you're just sitting there looking
I wonder
at him.
what he did to mummify.
how he did
I wish there was more information. I know that it's pretty
I've
tight
tried
when
to
you
look
when
at-
you dig
yeah.
into things in Russia. You kind of have to be
I
local.
looked into it too. It was mostly salt and I did try to dig into it. It was a couple ingredients.
So he did a brine pack.
Yeah.
Mm.
And then he just wrapped them in ace bandages,
Paper
And-
mache and
painted them. Yeah.
now I'm wondering where he did that at.
Yeah, because how does his parents not know? You're just
his parents are
painting
sitting
kids
there.
outside and you don't know?
It's
They're
arts and
sitting there
craft day.
watching Maury Povich, and he comes walking in, packing around a body. The adult one had to have been hard to move. I mean, you'd have to get like a dolly.
Again,
or something.
I have told my kids a million times there is nothing they can do that I will not be there for them. I will help them bury a body if I need to. But
that is Laura saying this.
this is
Jared.
Laura saying this.
Now,
No,
But
ma'am.
I figure
my boys-
I figure my kids are awesome, and
if my
we
boy
need
starts carrying in,
I got
But-
questions.
if
paper
we
mache
have
dolls.
26 dolls, paper mache dolls, that is.
If any
even
of my
for
boys
me,
have one,
life-size paper mache doll, that
I got
isn't
questions.
It's gonna
that
be
isn't
a
a sculpture
question.
of their uncle.
Yeah,
Yeah, I got a question. Yeah.
Exactly. If
Yeah.
it's not Uncle Jared, then what the hell is
Yeah.
going on?
I got questions.
Yeah, you got problems, but
Gruesome story.
yeah, we'll finish out the show on see if there's any more comments, and we're gonna make it. I think from here on out, we're gonna try to keep the shows pretty quick too.
Sorry, I meant to talk less,
Oh, you're
good.
but I don't talk.
Vince says I can't formulate anything. Just wow. Yeah, I know it's rather odd when you look into the face of some other religions, like when we went down that path of human sacrifice. Hindu,
Yeah.
yoga comes from the worship of Krishna, but so does human sacrifice. And the last, if I remember, this is coming off the top of my head, if I remember, the last human sacrifice in India for Krishna, Nam Chiba,
Num jabba.
was in the 2000s. So that's recent. Now the people who did it got arrested and everything else.
2000.
Yeah,
People.
that I do.
Yeah, it's so that's
Know that.
relatively recent. Tater says hi. Hi, Tater.
Hi, Tater.
What's with the negative feelings towards Russian? Well, Mike.
Well, Nothing.
Not all Russians. We don't have negative feelings towards all Russians. Matter
It's
of
just
fact,
this one Russian.
I would dare
was-
say the only way I would dislike this guy more is if he lived closer to me. I'm glad he's in Russia now. Pakistan
yeah, it's not
is
about where he's from.
Pakistan is probably the opposite side of the world from us. That would be more comfortable than Russia because that's even further away. But yes, that is creepy.
Mm.
Uh-oh. Mike says, you guys know Laura is part Russian, right?
Laura.
I am not. You're an asshole.
Yes. But anyway, so we know Russia. Well, that's probably why Laura would bury a body with her and then eat a
I would
casserole.
bury
Yep.
a body out of witchcraft. We all know this.
That's what I'm
I
saying.
mean, I tried to
Mike,
connect.
I like the cut of your jib.
Vince says he likes to think of sacrifice like the comedian Chinaman, sack of rice.
I don't think.
Yes.
I don't
I
think-
like it.
I honestly don't think sacrifice is wrong.
Sack of rice? No.
Sack of rice is
Sack-
great.
Yes, as she would. Sacrifice. Well, I mean, you know.
No, I think we should kill more people. Actually,
Oh my gosh,
But
we need to cut this
we.
show.
They've just deplatformed us.
As I slide over here a little
You
bit.
wanted to be thrown off some shows, and then you put me on.
But yes, thanks for joining us tonight, everyone. That guy.
Mm.
He's still alive.
Lots to
Isn't that
think
weird?
about.
Yeah, he's
Because it didn't happen a long time ago.
he's
This
still
was-
alive,
Yeah,
and I don't know
exactly.
what Russia's capital punishment laws are.
Well,
I don't
it
think
couldn't be worse than ours because
I don't think
people only die in Texas around
I don't
here.
think grave robbing could reach levels of capital punishment. It takes quite a bit, even in
Capital
Texas.
punishment isn't even a thing. It's a
Um,
joke. That's for another show.
We're getting hardcore Laura tonight. She's like, I want to.
Well, because capital punishment, if you're gonna do it, let's kill some people. We don't kill anyone.
Laura's
We
getting
just-
radical, guys.
We just leave them around, and we pay for them.
Thanks
so-
for joining us.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's an interesting show. Coming up next week, we've got, if I remember, we've got a card reader. Yeah.
Yes.
We've got some card reading coming up next week. Future show, we've got some more MK Ultra talk, and now we've got a story of Paulo Mayombe drug dealer cartel stuff.
I would like to know the connection.
I don't know if there's a connection between it.
Do you need to be
There is a
super high
connection.
in order to practice?
I
Is
think
that the
there's a
problem?
connection.
No, I don't think so. I don't want to say there's a connection
Because you don't
between
want to
There
offend.
is a connection.
between drug dealing and Paulo Mayombe, but I do want to say that, you know, I guess what it is if you practice Paulo Mayombe and you're a drug dealer, that's probably going to be expressed more because of the
But who the hell
probably
else?
the lifestyle you
I
lead.
see,
You
I see.
need more juju in your life.
Ah, I see.
That's such very positive thinking.
Well, it's not
I'm
positive
proud of
thinking.
you.
It's just thinking. Mike says, statistically, many other psychos out there. These are only the stories you hear about. That is correct. How many?
What does that mean?
Well, like
How many do
serial
we never
killers.
hear about?
I mean,
They
we
just
need-
carry on their
As far
lives.
as what, the psychos or the Paulo
Yeah.
Mayambo?
Both.
probably both. We do
Yeah,
need to do
probably
a show
both.
on Ed Gein one day too. He's still one of the most interesting weirdos ever out
He did the
there.
nipple belt, right?
More than that, but yes,
Nipple
he
Yeah.
belt.
dressed in ladies' skin.
A belt
Had a
made entirely of nipples.
Oh my
but
god.
we shouldn't give away all that just yet because that'll be a wild show.
That's for the circle table or whatever.
Yes, the round table discussion. We do need to plan that too.
Oh yes, that needs to come up. But anyways, thanks for joining us. It's a quick show tonight, and yeah, we'll be back next week. We'll do some card reading and have some fun with that. And we've got to ramp up towards Valentine's Day and have a nice heartfelt
We love
love
you
show.
all.
Yeah.
Yes.
Thank you very much.
Have a great night.
Bye. Now I'm writing all of everyone's cards.
Now you're what?
I want to do everyone's